Hi, my name is Lou and I'm a Discovery Groom here at HorseWorld. A typical day at Discovery would usually start with me doing the rounds, so driving out and checking the horses in the field, giving them any hay and feed that they need and skipping out the fields. And then if we have any horses in, we'll also muck out and feed and hay the horses that are in. We bring the horses in ready for the sessions with the students and let them settle and eat in their stables before the students arrive. And then once the students get here, it's time for their sessions. So my role would then change to be the eyes of the horse for the session. And with that, we would just observe the session and see how the horses are behaving and monitor their body language. So if any of them need a bit of a break from the session or they might need to be swapped for a different horse, we're on hand to do that so that the facilitators can focus on the students and we can focus on the horses. And then at lunchtime we will swap any horses that need to be swapped. So they would typically only do one session a day, so they can go back out to the field and chill out, and we'll make sure they've got any hay and water and feed that they need, and then get the horses in for the afternoon session and then repeat the whole process again. The horses at Discovery all have quite different needs in terms of what they need to be fed. So we've got a lot of horses that are on a bit of a weight loss program, so they're having restricted hay intake and some of that might be soaked. So then because of that, they also get a feed balancer to make sure they're still getting all of their essential vitamins and minerals and proteins to help them build muscle whilst they're still losing weight. So we calculate all of their feed rations and work it out for each individual horse and make sure they get the right amount each day. And that would be the same if they're in the field or if they're in the stable. Outside of the sessions with the students, we also keep the horses fit so that they can continue their work. So that might be riding or long reining or working in the round pen, and that will be varied for each horse. So we make sure they do a sort of different mix of activities just to keep them kind of interested and stop them getting too bored. I started riding horses when I was 7 years old. I was very lucky that my parents were very supportive of that and let me have horse riding lessons. I think they thought it was a phase that I would grow out of, and then 21 years later, here we are. So I've always kind of had horses in my life. So I'm studying a degree in equine science at Hartpury University, and I chose equine science in particular because it's quite varied. But I just wanted to learn more about horses and kind of dig a bit deeper into the science of everything that goes into horses. When I started at Discovery, I really was drawn to the way that they use the rescue horses alongside the students. And I think it's really nice that the horses have kind of more of a background story. And that was something that I really wanted to be part of and to support that. Some of the students that come to Discovery can be quite shy when they first get here, or they have quite low confidence and self-esteem, and I've really seen the students working with the horses and their confidence has grown, and they're much more kind of able to use their voice and their body language to communicate with the horses, which they perhaps wouldn't have done right towards the start of their course. And just seeing the students just grow into themselves and just learn skills that will stay with them for the rest of their life. I really enjoy all aspects of my job at Discovery. There is some slightly less glamorous jobs like the poo picking and mucking out, but then we also get to do the fun things like going out for rides on the horses, whether that's on the local roads or out around the tracks on the farm. I think our Discovery ponies are really good because they have really unique personalities. So to be a good Discovery pony, obviously they need to be well behaved and able to stand for our students to work with, but also to have their own personality and a bit of character. Then it means that different students relate differently to different ponies. So there'll be some students who might relate to the kind of quieter ponies, or some of them that might like the challenge of the slightly more cheeky or boisterous horses. So in the middle of winter, when it's really wet and cold, obviously our work is a little bit harder, but the thing that really gets me going in the morning and makes me want to come into work is seeing all of the ponies and looking after them, and then seeing how the students interact with them and how it lifts their spirits as well as ours. One word I would use to describe Discovery would be inspiring. So seeing how our facilitators inspire our students and the horses also inspire the students to achieve things that they might not think were possible. My favourite horse at Discovery is probably Flower. She is actually on loan to us. She has been here for about 3.5 years now, and I really enjoy taking her out for rides. We hack out on the roads and we go around the tracks on the farm, and then she also works with the students and is really good with the slightly more experienced students because she can be a little bit speedy, but she is really well behaved and really seems to enjoy her work. There is also 2 other horses that were favourites of mine on Discovery. So one is Gunner, who is sadly no longer with us. And again, we used to hack out and do lots of riding on the roads and out on the tracks. And he was really cheeky, so he was quite good with some of the more confident students because he was quite boisterous. And then the other favourite of mine is Demi, who has now retired from Discovery, but she still lives here at HorseWorld. And again, she was just really cheeky and had a really big personality, and we used to love doing the obstacle course together.